Hello, boys and girls. Today we're going to look at some shapes that we've already learned, and we're also going to talk about some new tools that we're going to be using for today's lesson. I want to let you know that these tools that we're going to be learning about today are called pattern blocks. Can you say that with me? Pattern blocks. Good job. Those are the tools that we're going to be using today. Pattern blocks, most of you have seen in your classroom before and might have even used them. So we're just going to go over these tools and the names of these tools so that we can use them in our lesson. First shape that we're going to talk about today is this shape here. This shape, you probably remember it. What's the name of this shape, boys and girls? Yes, great job. This is a triangle, and you see it right here. Triangle. Okay, our next shape is this one here. You remember that one, right? I'm going to put it right here. This is our what shape, boys and girls? Good. This is a square, and you see the word square here. Okay, then in our last lesson, you learned about this shape. Who remembers the name of this shape? Great job. Yes, that's the hexagon. And that one's right there, written right here for you, hexagon. Okay. Now, we're going to take a look at another shape, and maybe you remember it, maybe you don't, but this is it here. This is our next shape. Who remembers the name of this shape? Oh, you're right. It's shaped like a diamond. We call that a diamond, but in geometric words, or in big kids geometric words, we call that the rhombus. Can you say the rhombus? And you can see it here, rhombus. Okay, our next shape that we're going to look at is this one here. Okay, this red block here. This shape, boys and girls, is called a trapezoid. Can you say trapezoid? Good job. Now, we also have another shape, and I'm going to show it to you right here. I'm going to put it here against my whiteboard so you can see it better. This, my friends, is called a skinny rhombus because it looks just like the rhombus, except it's skinny. See, this is a skinny rhombus, and this is a rhombus. So this is the other shape that is part of our pattern blocks. And you've seen these blocks at school. We've used them before to make letters, to form letters, and even to form numbers, we use them. So today we're going to use these shapes in our lesson. Okay, boys and girls, today we're going to look at our essential question. And this is our essential questions for today's lesson. How can you solve a problem using the strategy draw a picture? And we've worked on this before. We have used the strategy draw a picture to help us solve other problems. So today we're going to practice using that strategy, draw a picture, to help us solve a problem. So I want you to take a look over here. I'm going to draw a shape right here. And I think you boys and girls know what shape this is. Boys and girls, what shape do you see here? Yes, that's right. That's a rectangle. How many rectangles do you see, friends? That's right, one. Now, watch me. What shapes do you see now? Yes, that's right, triangles. How many triangles do you see? Great. 1, 2. You see 2 triangles. How do the triangles relate to the rectangle? Yes, that's right. The triangles are inside the rectangle. Or we can also say the triangles combine to make a rectangle. Okay, now we're going to practice cutting apart and putting shapes together. First, I'm going to take this shape. What is the name of this shape, boys and girls? Yes, this is a rectangle. Now I'm going to take this rectangle and I'm going to cut on this diagonal line. What shape did I get? Yes, a triangle. How many triangles did I get? Yes, 2 triangles. I could take those 2 triangles and combine them, put them together, and that makes a rectangle. Now I'm going to take this shape. What shape is this, boys and girls? Yes, that's right. That's a rectangle. Now I'm going to take this rectangle and I'm going to cut right in the middle of my rectangle. Now what shape did I get? That's right, a square. How many squares did I get? Yes, 2 squares. If I take my 2 squares and put them together or combine them, I make a rectangle. I could take it apart and I could combine it and it will make a rectangle. So if I take it apart, it'll make 2 squares. If I put it together, I can make 1 rectangle. Good job, boys and girls. Remember, boys and girls, that today we are learning how to solve a problem using the strategy, draw a picture. So let's take a look at our word problem for today. Lauren has only triangles. She wants to make other shapes. How can she make other shapes by joining triangles? Remember, joining means putting together, just like combine, putting together. So let's take a look at the shapes that Lauren wants to make. So this is the first shape that Lauren wants to make. And I'm going to show it to you here. You know what shape this is. We already learned it when we did our review. And this was a rhombus. Okay? Now, remember that our friend Lauren only has triangles. That's all she has. She only has triangles. But she wants to make this shape of a rhombus. So, what is one of the things that she could do in order to find out how she can use these triangles, because that's all she has, to make this rhombus? Well, the first thing she could do is think about her shapes. Now, she knows that a triangle has 3 vertices, and she also knows that a rhombus has vertices. So she could fill in the shape with her triangles. And she notices, oh, there's a vertex there and a vertex there. So maybe if she puts it right on top, then she knows that she could make that shape. Now, what will she need down here to fill in the shape? Yes, that's right. Another triangle. Now this time, what does she need to do to her triangle? She needs to make sure she rotates it so that it is right in the position that she needs in order to make that shape of the rhombus. So we know that Lauren can take two triangles and they will make, if she combines them or joins them, she will be able to make that rhombus. The next shape Lauren wants to make is a trapezoid. Now, remember, Lauren just has triangles. Now, what does she have to do in order to see if she can use these triangles to make this shape of the trapezoid? Now, we know again that she could look at her triangle shape and place the triangle shape right on top of her trapezoid shape and see if she can use these triangles to make her trapezoid. So she could place her first one there, again looking at where her vertices are. Now, can she place the other one right on top? No. She probably has to rotate it in order for it to fit right on the trapezoid. So make sure she rotates that it fits right on top. And again, now what does she need here to fill up the shape? Yes, she needs another triangle. So she can place the last triangle. Remember, she has to line up those vertices to cover or fill in the trapezoid so that she can see how many triangles she needs to make that trapezoid. Now, we can move this now over here on our whiteboard so that we can see that trapezoid that she can make by joining the triangles together. Now, she used how many triangles to make that trapezoid? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3. That's right, she used 3 triangles to make this trapezoid. Now, let's take a look at her last shape. You know this shape because we learned that shape in our last lesson. That shape is the hexagon. Do you think Lauren can use these triangles to make the shape of this hexagon? Yes. She can take, again, remember our strategy. She can take these triangles and place them right on top to fill in the hexagon to see if she can build this shape. So let's take a look again at what she can do. Place vertices right on vertices, okay? So she can take one triangle there, and then she can place another triangle right there. She can line up the sides just like that. And then she needs to continue filling up her hexagon and continue with her triangles to fill up that hexagon. Then she needs to make sure she's placing them in the right position. If she needs to rotate a few, she can. She will continue to work on filling that hexagon with her triangles right about there. And now you can see that she was able to use her triangles to build that hexagon. So let me put them right over here. I'm going to place them in the exact same order so that we can see how she built that hexagon using the triangles. So let's count and see how many triangles she needed to build this shape of the hexagon. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She used 6 triangles to build the hexagon. Now let's review. How can Lauren make the shape of a rhombus? She can join 2 triangles to make a rhombus. How can Lauren make a trapezoid? She can join 3 triangles to make a trapezoid. How can Lauren make a hexagon? She can join 6 triangles to make a hexagon. Now, I want you to take a look at these 2 shapes. What shapes are these? Yes, that's right. These are triangles. Sometimes, boys and girls, we can take smaller shapes like these triangles and make a larger shape. Look at this. If I take this triangle and I rotate it and place it or join it, combine it to my other triangle, I could make a large rectangle. Now, boys and girls, I can take those same 2 small triangles and rotate and turn to make a new shape there, a larger triangle. Let's try one more problem, boys and girls. Let's see if we can take some of these squares or all of these squares to make a larger square. Yes, that's right. We can place one square right underneath another square, and we can move this square over and join it right there with that square, and take this square over and join it to that square. Now, will we need this square here? Probably not. So we can remove that one, and we could take our pencil here, or in my case a marker, and we could trace around this shape, and we will notice that we were able to make a larger square using the smaller squares. We were able to make a larger square using the smaller squares. Now remember, boys and girls, you'll be able to use all of the pattern block shapes that you learned today: the hexagon, the triangle, the square, the skinny rhombus, the trapezoid, and the rhombus to make different shapes. You can make pictures of possibly a doll, or a rocket ship, a pinwheel or a sailboat, and even a flower. So next time that you have a set of pattern blocks, remember, you can use them to make larger shapes by joining them together. So we learned that we can use smaller shapes to make larger shapes. We can also use other shapes and join them together or combine them to make different shapes. We also learned that we can use pictures to help us solve a problem. Good job, boys and girls. See you next time.